Here, look at this. Magnificent century, 1 billion views. The most successful export product of Turkey for the last...
Well, probably since baklava.
Luxury, intrigue, power, the great Ottoman Empire which held half the world by the throat. And then you arrive in Istanbul. You leave the airport, take a taxi, and the taxi driver looks at you and says, "Do you have cash dollars? Let me calculate the change in lira at a different rate." And you stand there, looking at this chaos, and you realize, this is the real Turkey. This is not the magnificent century.
This is a country of attractions.
A paradoxical country that has been trying to understand for 100 years. Who is it? Is it the enlightened West, as one mustached blonde man in a suit once bequeathed to it? Or is it the cunning East, sitting on the Bosphorus and clipping coupons from everyone? And to understand what the hell is happening with Turkey, we need to go back 100 years. The year 1923, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founding father. You have to understand, he wasn't just a reformer, he was a surgeon. He took what was left of the Ottoman Empire, a sick, crumbling body, and decided to amputate everything unnecessary. Amputate religion, amputate the Arabic script. Here's the Latin alphabet. Amputate the past. He banned the fez. Banned it. It's like if Peter the Great had chopped off beards. Stop. It was the Project West. We are building a nation of Turks, not Muslims, not Ottomans, but Turks. And it worked. He built an army, factories, an elite that looked to Paris, not to Mecca. And then we blinked. In 2002, this man came to power from a poor neighborhood in Istanbul, not from the elite, but from those whom Ataturk had once tried to re-educate. Meet His Majesty Recep Tayyip Erdogan, another father of the nation, but with notes of local folklore. And Erdogan said a simple thing. Guys, what are we ashamed of? We are great. We are the heirs of that very empire. It's time to restore greatness. And he began to bring it back, but not through conquests, through concrete. It was an economic miracle. Turkish, economic miracle. In 2002, GDP per capita in Turkey was $3,500, like in some Ghana. In 2013, it was $12,500. Growth almost fourfold. Do you understand what this means on an everyday level? It means that your father, who spent his whole life saving for an old Fiat, suddenly buys himself a new Volkswagen. It means that you, a simple guy from Anatolia, fly on vacation for the first time, not to the neighboring village, but to France, to a hotel. People really began to live better, and they loved Erdogan. They were ready to forgive him all the political quirks and strange poems. And do you know who did not forgive? The Western partners. And then, the most fun part began. Erdoganomics. Just so you understand, whenever the world faces inflation, what does it do? Exactly. It raises the key interest rate. It makes money expensive in order to cool down the economy. It's like taking fever-reducing medicine when you have a cold. But what does Erdogan do? As befits any self-respecting samurai, he chooses his own path and drops, well, the rate. He literally comes out and says, the interest rate is evil, it's a sin, it's against my faith. And the entire global economic science is like, what? Dude, are you serious? But he's serious. Result? The peak of inflation in 2022 was 72%. In 2024, it rose again, almost 59%. And these are only the official figures. Unofficially, ask any Turk who buys olive oil. Food prices over the year? No way. You'd be lucky to keep up even for a week. This is not economics. It's like trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline from a canister labeled holy water.
But what do you think? Is that all? A collapse happened? Well, no.
The second army of NATO, the second economy among Muslims, one of the most advanced film industries, A huge market, a place where West and East meet, a state where industry, technology, and ancient traditions are closely intertwined. Today, Turkey not only follows trends, it is one of those who set them. So Turkey is not a bridge. Turkey is a giant, cunning old bazaar that stands at the crossroads. And then in 2022 begins.
Well, you know what begins. Sanctions. The breaking of trade chains.
And what do you think Turkey does? It's like, oh, you're quarreling? Too bad. By the way, do you need anything? And off it goes. Trade turnover with Russia in 2022 jumps by 84%. Russia becomes Turkey's #1 importer. Turkey is the gray hub, through which everything that is forbidden but very much desired flows into Russia. But at the same time, Turkey is selling Bayraktars to Ukraine, the very ones that burn Russian convoys. You might think, what a bad Erdogan playing on other people's problems. Well, let's start with the fact that politics is about influence, and in that, Turkey has truly excelled today, more than many others.
Slava Ukraine!
He intervenes in conflicts in the Middle East, builds huge transnational projects between countries, and slowly but surely unites all Turkic peoples into a mysterious union, Turan. And most importantly, he does it, with a smile. But what is this, if not the awakening of a sleeping giant? And here it is, the symbol, the new Istanbul airport. In 2023 and 2024, the busiest airport in Europe, more than 80 million people. It is bigger than Heathrow, bigger than Charles de Gaulle. This is a soft lever. Turkish Airlines flies to more countries than anyone else in the world. You can fly from Moscow to Mexico City, from Tel Aviv to Karachi, and all of it through Istanbul.
Turkey sits on traffic, on human, on goods, on political.
So who are they? The heirs of Suleiman, or just very skillful merchants? The truth is that Turkey today is that very same series. On the outside, the luxurious facade of an empire. Bridges, airports, Bayraktars, ambitions. And inside, intrigues. The lira's exchange rate jumping like crazy. The youth fleeing the country because they can't afford an iPhone. And the eternal debate. Are we Ataturk's Europe or Erdogan's Asia? But that's not what matters. What matters isn't what Turkey is, but what would happen if it weren't. Because today, Turkey is one of those fragile threads holding West and East together. Without it, the world could fall apart completely. And of course, the shrewd Turks eventually wanted to make some money off that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss new videos. And be sure to hit that like button and drop a comment. What kind of Turkey would you like to see? This is Facty, signing off. See you soon.